Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Big Four podcast. Luke and Alex are nowhere to be found, so an interesting development there. We'll start Michigan State this week. They beat Illinois. I don't know if you want to say anything about that. But, we really want to talk about Michigan State beating Michigan on Sunday, so reactions to that.
Well, we're going to talk about Michigan State's win over their bigger rival, which was the Illinois Fighting Illini. Listen, you could say all you want about how Michigan's a big rival, but Illinois was the more talented team. They're more talented than Michigan coming into this matchup. They have more of matchup nightmares for Michigan State. Michigan's got no matchup you're scared about there. Michigan can't score, they can't defend, they can't do anything. You're not too worried about Michigan, but you are worried about Illinois because Illinois's got some big men. They've got Kofi Cockburn. They've got G.O.B., very nice player. They've got one of the best players in the conference, Ayo Dosunmu. Trent Frazier, he can give you 10 to 12 a night. Good shooter, get to the paint. Oh my goodness, I can't say enough about Kipper Nichols. Just a very good overall
Move on to the Michigan game.
Illinois team. It was a good win to start out conference play. It really got our momentum going. And it was the first game this year where Cassius Winston really looked like Cassius Winston. He was scoring the ball at will. He was passing the ball at will. The other guy that really got going in that game was Xavier Tillman. Who had a big game Sunday. He was terrific against Illinois. But to the game Sunday, I mean, yeah, I was expecting a blowout, and that was exactly what I got. I mean, you got a Michigan team who is not motivated coming into this game, a coach that doesn't care about the rivalry. So, of course, it's going to happen. And you got a coach on the other end who his entire life has been predicated on beating that team 60 miles to the east. And he did a great job, of course, led by the greatest point guard in Big Ten history, Cassius Winston, who supposedly was, supposedly at least, Dan Dawkins says that Xavier Simpson was just as good as Cassius Winston was. And we saw that not even close, not even remotely true, and they're not even in the same class, not even close. Xavier Simpson's a lot closer to Anthony Cowan than he is Cassius Winston. So it was a great performance by him, but everybody had it going. All our shooters couldn't miss. Gabe Brown is one of the best players. You know, he's a great role player, and there's a reason why we recruited him over Brandon Johns because he's a much better player, much better overall player. I'll take him any day. And you got stuck with Brandon Johns, who was a Michigan State fan growing up, so congratulations for that. And Marcus Bingham Jr., very good game. He made that three, but he does so many other things on the defensive end. So I thought it was embarrassing for Michigan. They didn't even show up. They didn't even get off the bus. For Michigan State, it was impressive. You got to beat your little sister. You know, you got to put a pounding on her, and they did a very nice job of that.
Okay, Alex has joined us. So, Alex, thoughts on Michigan State, Michigan?
Well, I thought it was embarrassing. No, Michigan did not come out ready to play. Michigan State was like 4 for 4 to start. They got up early, and it kind of stayed that way. It was within 9 to 12 the whole game until the very end, which was free throws and stuff that we obviously expanded. But I thought Teskey getting some foul trouble definitely hurt them. Cassius Winston played out of his mind. I don't think he missed that whole game.
Actually, he was only 11 for 19 from the field.
Oh, only. I'm sorry. He went down, hit like a step-back three. Then the next play, ball got blown dead. He checks up a floater after the whistle, and it still goes in.
Yeah, and they didn't count it. That's bullshit.
Yeah, I'm saying that's kind of how the game was going. So,
and then how about Juwan Howard? Freaking stopping a fast break. That was the best coaching he did all night. Are you kidding me?
That was beautiful coaching. That was great coaching.
But, we just... Nobody's really going to... When Teskey's out, there's not much offense. There's kind of runs through him. You can't expect Xavier Simpson to be shooting at all. You have Brandon Mr. Johns. That's, Eli Brooks disappeared again. Chris, I told you he sucked.
I didn't even see him. Did he play? I didn't even know if he played.
He played like 30 minutes. I don't think he did anything. He was awful.
Alex, I saw a stat from a Michigan fan page that said Xavier Simpson was shooting 40% from three, and Cassius Winston was shooting like 35. And I don't think he's going to be saying anything about that anymore.
No, but Michigan State played really well, and Michigan went down early and just never recovered. Just not a good game. Not a very good game at all, especially in that pretty tough environment. Just disappointing.
Well, I'll start with Michigan State. Obviously, great game from Winston. Career day. It's tough to beat a team when you shoot 100% from the field, and Michigan State
52% from the field.
No, that's a fact. Michigan State did not miss one shot the whole day. They shot 100% from the field.
Here is a fact: Michigan couldn't shoot at all either. So.
No, I'm getting to that. So good game from them. Yeah, they played well, and I don't know if anybody in the country would have beaten them with the way they played. But to Michigan, didn't shoot the ball great.
Great, you couldn't shoot it at all. Are you kidding me? You started like 0 for 9 from 3.
They didn't shoot the ball great, but I was impressed with the way they fought back. They were always within striking distance.
What do you mean fought back? Fought back to what? They were only down 10. What great fight.
Tough loss, but I was impressed with the way we fought. We're not a soft team. We fought. Really impressed with that.
You are a soft team. Very soft team.
I'll say one thing. I'd like to see Franz Wagner get some more touches. He made a big 3 there.
God.
Towards the end of that game.
I was about to say something about Franz Wagner. Does he add anything to your team? He doesn't do anything.
He doesn't get the ball. They got to give him the ball more.
He can't shoot. He's shooting like 10% from 3 on the year. Frickin' Rocket Watts makes him look like he makes Rocket Watts look like Ray Allen. Are you fucking kidding me?
I think Franz Wagner's their best player.
No. He's not their best player, Mike. He's the only player that consistently can spread the floor a little bit.
He's also
he's shooting 6 threes a game.
He's skinnier than a rail.
Alex, to your point, Brooks, he sucked. I was wrong about him. That was the embarrassing performance for Eli Brooks. I believe David DeJulius would be starting over Eli.
Yeah, well,
Brooks.
let's not act like David DeJulius did anything either. So
he made a couple shots.
Well, he played like 8 minutes, Mike.
Yeah, he didn't play that much. I thought Johns was actually really good in this game. Chesky was good at the beginning of the game. Austin Davis, surprisingly, off the bench, played pretty well. The big guys in Michigan.
I'd hope a redshirt senior will be able to post up a freshman. I'd hope so.
Decent performance in Michigan. Not good enough to win on this day. They're going to win in Ann Arbor. I still believe they're
Chris.
I don't know if I want to say better team, but they are fully capable of beating them in Ann Arbor. I think
Chris, there are many teams. There are teams at Michigan's level that can beat Michigan State, but that's only if Michigan State isn't motivated. And Michigan State, we all know, is way more motivated than Michigan ever is for this game, and that's why Michigan's lost the last 4. They're just never motivated for the game.
Okay, we're going to move on. Ohio State falls at home to Wisconsin. Somebody want to say something?
What did you say?
Ohio State falls at home to Wisconsin. Reaction.
Wisconsin's nasty. I tried telling you guys, Wisconsin is good. They were not what they were to start the year. And I think a little bit Ohio State was kind of like Michigan. They started off really well, and they're coming back to a little bit, kind of down to earth a little bit. But that was a signature win. I think, they one win away from home before that? Like 1-5 or something. So, great win. Nothing else to say.
Yeah, Ohio State. There's just not enough there for me. Your best player is in the post, and the problem with having your best player in the post is you can just double him, take him out of the game, and if you don't have shooters that can knock down shots, that can be tough. And they aren't playing with Kyle Young. He didn't play in the Maryland game, which is Is that gone final yet? Chris?
Yeah, Ohio State lost.
Yep. So Ohio State, that's 2 big losses. But they're 1-3 in conference play, and I am very concerned for Ohio State because they have a very, very tough opening start to the conference season. They could easily be 2-5, and just to think that about Ohio State, if you said that a month ago, people would say you're crazy. But listen, this was a game you couldn't lose to Wisconsin. That was a game you couldn't lose. It was an embarrassing loss. But, I mean, Chris Holtmann, I know he wants to peak in March, so maybe he lost this game on purpose. I wouldn't be shocked. But Wisconsin, I like Wisconsin also. I liked Wisconsin to start the year. They lost a couple tough games early, 2 tournament teams in Richmond and New Mexico. But they've rebounded.
Yeah.
They've rebounded nicely with wins over Marquette, a win at Tennessee. I don't care how bad Tennessee is. Whenever you go into Rocky Top and win, that's a solid victory. And then they beat Ohio State, which is probably going to end up being a quadrant 3 win by the end of the season. But whatever, it's a good win for them. It'll boost their resume. Wisconsin is now in the Andy Katz top 36, which is always a great sign.
Yeah, and Creighton's not in there. The most underrated team in basketball.
Well, Creighton's just not. They're not talented enough. Wisconsin's more talented.
Oh yeah.
I really like Wisconsin. I mean, Demetric Trice, he's one of the best guards in the Big Ten. They got to give him the ball more. I like their big men. I like the addition of Micah Potter. I like Tyler Wall. I like a lot of players on that team. They're good. They're solid. They play good defense, and yeah, they're gonna be right in the thick of it. I think they're gonna make the tournament. That's a good win for them. As for Ohio State, they're slipping a little bit. But I think Kentucky's going to get a lot better. That win's going to look a lot better by the end of the year. So Ohio State's, they're probably going to end up being a 4 or 5 seed at the end of the year.
Yeah, embarrassing loss for Ohio State. Can't lose at home to an average basketball team. Wisconsin, they'll probably pick up a couple wins like this in conference to make the tournament. I really don't think they're very good. They run the stall offense, everybody's favorite.
No, it's the swing offense.
It's the stall offense.
It's the swing offense.
No, stall offense. They just stall the game.
No, it's the swing offense.
No. So, I really don't think Wisconsin's very good. They're not very talented. I don't think much of Greg Gard. But,
Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, that's a hot take. Wow, how dare you say something bad about Greg Gard? Are you kidding me?
So,
what are you smoking? I want to know. How dare you talk about the great Greg Gard that way? How dare you?
All right, moving off.
How dare you? How dare you?
As for Ohio State, as I said before the season, I don't think they're very good. And they're showing right now they're not very good.
Stop it.
They're going there, I think they're an 8 or 9 seed in the tournament by the end of the year. I don't think they're very good.
Jesus Christ.
They don't have any talent. I'm sorry. They lost DJ Jackson.
They have 2 point guards who would start over CJ Jackson if they were playing last year.
When you have one player on offense, Caleb Weston, it's tough to win games.
No, they got Justin Arns.
Okay. Let's move on. The Big Ten scoreboard. Rutgers with a quadrant 1 win over Caldwell College. Wisconsin over Rider. Purdue over Minnesota in double overtime. Nice to see Purdue getting a vote in the AP poll this week. Great to see that. Rutgers over Nebraska. Maryland over Indiana. Penn State over Iowa. Minnesota over Northwestern. Illinois over Purdue. Reactions. Reactions. Anybody?
Alex? Is he still here?
He is. Apparently he does not like this topic.
My bad. I was muted. My bad.
Oh, okay.
My bad. I want to go back to Wisconsin. Didn't you pick them over Tennessee?
Me? No, I picked Tennessee.
I did.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Didn't you pick Tennessee?
Mike, I have a hot take right now. It's not related to the Big Ten. I have a hot take.
What?
Marcus Howard is over the hump.
The hell does that mean?
He's not.
Yes, he is. I'm watching this game right now.
Are you saying he's over the hump because they're playing Providence?
He was very good against
Anybody
Villanova.
can show up in that game.
He was very good against Villanova in a big game, and now they're in overtime against Providence, and he's making circus shots here in overtime. So I think Marcus Howard's over the hump.
Well, Providence
Okay,
can't
anyway.
shoot, so.
What?
I saw Jay Billis today. He wrote a thing that said Marcus Howard was like the most elite players in college basketball. Like, what are you on? What are you on?
He is.
Chris, don't fall into the trap. Don't do it.
No,
Come on.
I think he's over the hump. Okay, back to the Big Ten. Alex,
Are you back on Marquette like you were last year?
No. My team is actually I'm back on every Big East team. This year I have grabbed every Big East team as my team. I have 10 teams.
Okay, you're insane. Rutgers played a community college, so
that's their good team.
Yeah, Wisconsin is phenomenal. Greg Gard is a top 5 coach in the Big Ten. And yeah, nothing too impressive. I think we kind of covered the big ones: Michigan, Ohio State, and Michigan State. But yeah, I can't believe Purdue got a. Who voted for Purdue?
That's a great question.
Well, that's the problem with the AP poll. You got beat writers who cover one team and are expected to know the entirety of college basketball. That's a joke. How is an SMU beat writer going to know how well Michigan State played against Illinois? Give me a freaking break. They should all be fired. Every AP voter. They don't know crap. This is why.
We're having Creighton ranked.
This is why we need a freaking. Even the coach. Nobody cares about the coaches poll either. We need like a Mike Jones poll, and then they should take it from there. Because I watch every game, every big game I watch. You know who doesn't watch it?
Providence and Marquette right now.
No, that's not a big game. I wouldn't put
it.
it. I would put no Big East teams in my top 25 just to piss people off.
Butler, top 6 team right now. Yeah, they don't make the cut actually on my list.
Butler might be the most overranked team in the history of the poll.
No, they should be number 2. Butler should be number 2.
Are you kidding? Okay, we're not going to get into this right now. Okay, Big Ten scoreboard.
Wait, Chris, they're not a Power 5. How can you say that?
Listen, Power 6 in basketball, the committee said that.
They're not a Power 5. Can't say that.
What committee?
Well,
the committee that's.
Sorry, Alex. In college basketball? In college basketball?
The college basketball playoff committee, Chris?
No, the tournament committee. In college basketball,
the same committee that put Michigan State in the Duke region. Yeah.
There is actually a Power 2, and I am going to petition to make this true because the Big East and the Big Ten have surpassed every other conference in so many ways. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
Not the SEC. It matters more in the SEC.
No, that's only football.
Oh, now it's only football.
Yep, and baseball.
What about the ACC? Does that mean more?
No.
Unbelievable.
Okay. Big Ten scoreboard. Rutgers, listen, we can talk about the Caldwell game all we want, but they just beat a very good Penn State team. They did it in impressive fashion, 44 points, outscored Penn State by 16 in the second half. Rutgers is a tournament team, ladies and gentlemen. Rutgers is a tournament team this year. Okay, Wisconsin, a very impressive win over Rider. Rider didn't score until like the 9-minute mark. So, yeah, very impressive. Start of conference season, Purdue, they've been probably the least impressive team in the Big Ten, and including Northwestern so far in conference play. Just squeaked one out against Minnesota, who, Minnesota's okay, but you got to beat teams like Minnesota by more. Then, once again, Rutgers, very big win over Nebraska. Maryland, you can see that's coming from a mile away. Indiana's terrible. No talent at all there. So, not surprised that Maryland beat them. It was way more than 16. They beat down. They really beat down Indiana. That was a pick'em game at the Palestra. Good win for Penn State. Embarrassing loss for Iowa. Those are games you got to pull out because Iowa's not going to win a lot of games without Jordan Bohannon this year. It's just
That's not true.
No.
I don't know why you're so down on them.
Because they lost their best player.
That's okay, yeah, all right.
Listen, I'm all about Luka Garza, but he's, like the 6th or 7th best big man in the Big Ten? So, Okay, so Minnesota with a this was embarrassing because Minnesota was up 20 and the spread was 9.5, and they ended up not covering the spread by beating a Northwestern team down 3 starters by 9 points. They should be ashamed of themselves. And impressive win for Illinois over Illinois, Chris. I see that you really.
Not bad. Okay.
It was Purdue. They got a
week.
nice win over Purdue.
The best win of the week was no doubt Rutgers over Caldwell. Quadrant 1 win. Caldwell is really, really talented roster they have.
That's a quad 7 win. And
No, that's a quadrant 1 win, according to my metrics.
Yeah, your metrics.
Yeah, the eye test. Okay, Wisconsin, solid win. Ryder, really good team. Purdue, I'm surprised Purdue won this game. Purdue is awful. They're getting down there with Northwestern and Nebraska.
No, I believe in Matt Painter.
I don't.
I do.
Rutgers,
They do this every year. They do this every year.
Rutgers is a tournament team, like Mike said. Indiana is not a tournament team. They suck. Penn State and Iowa, that might have been the game of the weekend. That was a great basketball game. 2 really good teams. Iowa's came up short. I think Iowa's still a better team, though. Minnesota, okay. And Illinois, impressive win over a really, really bad Purdue team. Okay, let's move on.
Wait, Alex. So last year, this was about the same. This was about the time that Purdue turned it on. Was this time last year?
Yeah.
But I think the big difference between last year and this year, why it's so concerning this year, is last year they were terrible on defense. They could score the ball at will early in the year. They were just terrible at defense. You can improve on defense. The one thing you can't improve on is your talent offensively. And and Purdue has been a terrible offensive team so far during Big Ten play. Purdue has never scored less points in the game than they did against Illinois. And Illinois is no defensive juggernaut. Not at all. They just can't score. They're expecting Matt Harms to give them 10 points a game. I mean, come on. That guy can't do anything. The only thing he can do is block shots.
Okay, let's move on. So we have our Big Ten power rankings here. All of our rankings listed. So some differences in each of ours. Maryland and Michigan at 2 and 3 seems to be consensus, except from Luke, who is delusional and still has Ohio State at 2. Alex and I have Michigan at 2. Mike has Maryland at 2. Mike with Penn State ahead of Ohio State. But these are all pretty close. They're not that far apart. So any reactions to these rankings? Anything you guys want to say?
Well, I thought you hated Maryland, crappy Maryland.
Well, the problem is everybody else in the Big Ten is just not great. I mean, not great as in not competing for a title. So I would say Maryland is way more talented than most of the teams below them, except for maybe Ohio State. They have a ton of talent, and they're going to beat teams just on talent alone, mostly. And they're going to have nights where they're not. But that's why I think Illinois. That's why I had Illinois at 7. I thought they're so inconsistent, but they can move up possibly as the year goes on. And in hindsight, I had Penn State way too high. Rutgers. I'd maybe switch places. Put Rutgers at number 4. You kidding me?
Okay, that's enough. We're moving on after that comment.
Listen, you sleep on Steve Peichel. I've been telling you for 3 years that he is a great coach. He is a great coach.
Rutgers at 11.
Listen, okay. But like I said, 3 years ago, they took Michigan State to overtime at the Breslin Center, and I told everybody after that game, I said Rutgers was a tournament team. I was talking about 2020. I wasn't talking about 2017. They're a 2020 tournament team.
I'm just talking about 3 years later, just randomly, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Michigan State kind of consensus number 1 after the game this weekend. I think Michigan's right there with them.
No,
You
not
know,
even close. They got boat raced. They got boat raced. Are you kidding me?
I'd like to make an adjustment. I'm going to move Ohio State down below Iowa in my
Chris.
ranking.
Chris, Illinois played a much better game than you did. You kidding me?
Well, no.
I should have Illinois above you.
How is it that Michigan State plays every game at home? They have not played a road game. I swear they don't play road games.
We played at Northwestern.
Okay, that's enough.
We played at
All right,
Seton Hall. You kidding me?
We have some intriguing results here. Providence over Georgetown, Butler over St. John's, Creighton over Marquette, Colorado over Oregon, Butler over Creighton, Georgia over Memphis, Florida State over Louisville, Virginia over rival Virginia Tech, finished dead last in the ACC, got destroyed by a team that just lost to Boston College. Marquette over Villanova, Providence over DePaul, Wichita State over Ole Miss, Auburn over the real MSU, Oregon over Utah, San Diego State over Utah State. Any reactions to these results?
I'd just like to give credit to myself for picking Colorado with pick. No, I'm just kidding. In all seriousness, we can all agree the Big East is awful.
What? What are you talking about?
I do agree. I wouldn't have a single Big East team ranked.
Your favorite team right now is Creighton.
Alex, I don't think you were on the podcast last week, but Luke, Mike, and I all agreed that the Big East is number 2 behind the Big Ten.
Okay.
Well, yeah, they're number 2 because nobody else wants it. Nobody else is good. Every other conference is bad. That's why the Big East is 2.
Yeah, I wouldn't contest with that claim because that claim is horrendous.
This Providence Marquette game might be the game of the year.
Who won?
Providence Marquette might be the game that I sleep through the most because Providence.
It's great. I'm watching it in overtime right now. Got three
Chris, did you see they contracted Providence to build the world's biggest tower because they're so great at putting up bricks?
Well, if they beat Marquette here, I have a lot to say about Providence later in the podcast when we get to that.
Yeah, over unranked Marquette. Okay.
Are they winning?
Marquette received some votes this week.
So. Oh shit, they are winning. Jesus Christ. How about that clutch Marcus Howard? Frickin' losing to Providence in overtime.
4 seconds left. They're shooting free throws to tie the game.
Oh. Still embarrassing.
The only team I'm sold on in the Big East is Butler. Everybody else, I don't think they're good.
I'm not even sold on Butler.
Ridiculous.
Butler hasn't beaten a single good team. Are you kidding me?
Well, they beat 2 good teams on here. They beat Creighton and St. John's.
Okay, no.
Yeah, St. John's is second to last in conference.
St. John's beat West Virginia.
Listen, I like Creighton. They play no defense.
Oh my gosh, what a choke. The Marquette choke.
Did Marcus Howard miss another free throw?
No, it was somebody else. He missed the free throw to tie it. Now there's 2 seconds left. Providence is shooting free throws.
Oh, embarrassing. Providence is going to frickin' go undefeated in the league because every team wants to lose to them.
Yeah, they're trying to get every team in, so they need Providence to make up for their bad conference losses.
Right.
Embarrassing conference. I don't know why you like Creighton so much.
Chris thinks 6 scholarship Georgetown is going to make the tournament.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say that. I said they were going to miss it. I revised my.
Well, you said 10 teams are going to get in.
No, I revised my statement last week. Last week on this podcast, I revised my statement. I said 7 teams are locked. Georgetown's not going to make it. Providence and DePaul will be on the bubble, possibly might get in.
Well, that's actually a realistic take. Which is abnormal of you. Okay. Yeah, Providence beat Georgetown. McClung didn't play. Georgetown had like 6 scholarship players. So, I mean, I'd hope they'd be able to win that game. Butler just squeaking it out against St. John's. You know, Butler, everybody says, oh, Butler's great. And yeah, they've beaten some decent teams. Ole Miss. Come on.
Just so they haven't beaten anybody.
That they hadn't beaten anybody.
Anybody as in an elite team. They haven't beaten an elite team. They beat
some decent teams.
Yeah, they've beaten some decent teams. They've beaten Ole Miss, who's not even good, but
okay, Ole Miss sucks.
Who else did they beat? They lost to Baylor. That's a game you gotta win. Who else did they beat?
That's
Florida?
Baylor should be 1 and Butler should be 2 in the AP poll.
Florida frickin' lost to UConn. That's not a great win. Who else did they beat?
They beat Minnesota. That's a good one.
Oh,
Minnesota. They beat
Minnesota.
Stanford by 1.
Stanford's good.
No, not really. They're overrated.
Listen, Creighton plays no
Providence
defense.
survives! What a win for the Friars!
What?
Providence has defeated Marquette on their home floor.
So Marcus Howard did choke. Is that what you're telling me?
No, wasn't him.
Well, anytime you lose to Providence, it's a choke. I don't care what anybody says.
Fuck no! Providence is gonna hop onto the bubble now.
No. Okay, so anyway, Butler haven't really beaten any great teams. They'll have their shot with Villanova. I think Villanova will boat race them 2 times. They are you know who they are? They're turning into the Xavier of 2 years ago. That's who they're turning into. They're turning into a team that you gotta give them credit. They beat the teams they're supposed to beat, and they beat good teams. But once they face a real team, they freaking shrink, and they won't do crap.
They beat good teams, but they can't play real teams. Nice.
Yep, just like Xavier a couple years ago.
Let's keep it going here.
Okay, I'm just gonna skip over the Big East games because nobody gives a shit.
Yep.
Colorado, good win over Oregon. Then they proceeded to lose to Oregon State a couple days later. So that's an embarrassing loss for Ted Boyle, or what the hell his name is.
Do they still have Coach Tinkle over at Oregon State?
Oh yeah, Coach Tinkle. I saw the John Rothstein say that Wayne Tinkle's a great coach. I wouldn't go that far. Let's calm down with that. Skip over another Big East game. Oh, big win for Georgia. Memphis is a good team. They're not number 9. That's way too high. They're still a good mid-level tournament team, and that's a good win for Tom Crean. And an even better win that's turning into for Tom Izzo.
Tom Crean. All right, he's a top 10 coach.
Yeah, exactly. He's a great coach. He can really get his guys going, motivated. Big win for Florida State. Embarrassing loss for Louisville. Louisville is on the bubble right now. They got to beat some teams to get in, I think. They haven't beaten anybody. And that Michigan win's looking worse and worse day by day. Listen, Virginia Tech, they got us in Maui. They got us. We were on vacation. Cassius Winston was in foul trouble. It's not looking like a great loss right now, but Virginia Tech, I think they're good. I think they're decent. They'll finish middle of the pack in the ACC. Another Big East, 2 more Big East games. Get that shit out of here. Wichita State's looking like the real deal, and the Americans looking pretty good this year. Not gonna lie, they got Houston, they got Wichita, they got what's the other team that's good? Memphis. They got Temple, UConn, who lost to USF now. They're not very good. Cincinnati's always decent. They got the Cumberland brothers.
East Carolina.
East Carolina. Listen, don't sleep on East Carolina. Okay. The real MSU, really disappointed. I thought they'd win. Auburn, first Quadrant 1 win. It wasn't even a Quadrant 1 game. Auburn has played 0 Quadrant 1 games so far this year. I have no respect for their undefeated record.
Quadrant 2 game. I thought they played all 3 and 4 before that.
I don't know. That's probably true. It's probably true. And Rutgers will be undefeated with their schedule. So let's calm down with Auburn at number 8. Okay, and Utah, not a great win for Oregon, but I guess you got it done. So that loss is looking worse for Michigan. San Diego State, that's a game I thought for sure they'd lose. So I'm starting to maybe get on the San Diego State bandwagon, and I think Alex should join it with me.
What's that?
Okay, we're not going.
The San Diego State bandwagon.
All right, I'm gonna go circle with you. No. Okay.
San Diego State has the most Quadrant 1 wins in the country.
All right,
Wins and losses that matter?
Okay, I'm gonna start here with Providence and Georgetown here at the top. Great win for the Friars. I'm telling you, as I said before the season, Providence has a lot of talent. I think they're well coached by Ed Cooley. Had some tough out-of-conference losses, but they're really putting together.
Who the hell's Ed
really,
Cooley?
Really good team.
You mean Dave Cooley?
Okay. This is a really good basketball team. They have a chance, and I think they're going to make the tournament. And I think DePaul gets in too. I think that's 9 teams from the Big East.
You just said 7. What are you, freaking bipolar?
No, I said 2 teams would be on the bubble. One get in. Now I'm putting them in. 9 teams. Okay.
Chris would have 45 tournament teams. out of all the
All right,
conferences.
Valiant effort from St. John's in this game. They came back, all the way back, but Butler, better team. Creighton, as I keep saying, Creighton is a really good basketball team. Blew the doors off of Marquette at Marquette. Really impressive win for Creighton.
No.
Colorado, I was really surprised by this one. I thought Oregon was just going to walk through the Pac-12, so I was a little surprised they lost.
Yeah, well, Oregon. I don't think Oregon's that good. I just think Michigan's worse.
Memphis sucks. Louisville, tough loss. They'll be fine, though.
Oh, really?
Rated.
Virginia, embarrassing win for them. They just lost to Boston College, so I have nothing to say about them.
I'll take Virginia over Louisville.
And we're showing how great the Big East is. Marquette, in the past, they have choked away opportunities to win big games and win close games, like they did today against Providence. But they needed to win a couple of these games against teams like Villanova if they're going to make the tournament, and they're doing that. The Big East is setting up so well right now to get as many teams as possible into the tournament. Providence over DePaul, another quality road win for Providence. DePaul's a tough place to play. Wichita State, okay, they're from the American, so I don't like
They're back.
They're back. Wichita State's back.
They're back.
Oregon,
Texas is back.
San Diego State.
Wichita State is back.
San Diego State, they're a top 25 team, but we'll see what happens with them.
Yeah, they have the most quadrant 1 wins in college basketball, and they're not gonna get a single one for the rest of the year. So it's unfortunate.
All right, winners and losers.
The quadrant system favors the Power 6, and that's unfair.
Winners and losers.
My loser is the Big East Conference.
Ridiculous.
And my winner is San Diego State because they should be number 1 in the country right now.
Yeah.
My winner is Michigan State basketball. Terrific week for us. And listen, we had the disadvantage of having to play Illinois, and Michigan got the coast the entire week, and we still beat their ass down. And just take a guess who my loser is. Yeah, the Michigan Wolverines. They suck. Their coach is a joke. He didn't do anything. That was a terrible coaching job last Sunday. Well, I thought he was going to do something different. He did the exact same thing John Beilein tried to do against Cassius Winston, which was hedge the big man and have him run after Cassius for the entire game. Or early in the game, he tried to make Cassius hit contested mid-range shots. Well, guess who's the best at that? Cassius Winston. So, listen, he's a bad coach. I think we've established this, and they're gonna have. I don't know if they're gonna win another game this conference season. It's gonna be tough, real tough.
Okay. My loser this week, I gotta go with Memphis. You can't lose at home to Georgia.
Come on.
I'm sorry. That's embarrassing. Georgia is the worst team in the SEC.
Oh no! How dare Memphis lose a game?
My winner this week, obvious one. I'm going to go with Providence. So really impressive.
Chris, Memphis lost to a Power 6 team, so you can't say it was that bad.
No, embarrassing. So obviously Providence. They had a great week. Got to go with the Friars.
Yeah, but
let's move on to the picks.
Nobody cares about Big East basketball. I've never met a single Big East basketball fan except for you and Coach McHugh.
Okay. On to the picks. Alex and I are now in first place. I am making a run. And with the recent developments over the last couple of days, I believe I'm actually in first place right now.
Yeah, because you cheated.
Excuse me?
What a moment in Big Four history. Okay.
It's the first time in history, yeah.
Mike is in third, 5 games back, and Luke sits 13 games back, but he forfeited half of the games.
Jesus
Christ. He had a really nice week if he didn't forfeit all those games. Okay, let's move on.
Well, too bad the numbers don't even come close to adding up, so.
No, yes, they do.
Really?
Yes.
Fair enough.
Picks.
Okay, we picked West Virginia and Oklahoma State. Mike, Luke, and I picked West Virginia. Alex picked Oklahoma State. West Virginia won. We picked Ohio State and Maryland. Mike and I picked Maryland. Luke and Alex picked Ohio State. Maryland won. We picked Virginia at BC. We all picked Virginia.
Yeah, and I was wondering why this game was on here. So, Chris, I thought you were going to take that. I thought you were going to take BC.
No. Penn State at Rutgers. I was the only one to take Rutgers.
See, I was gonna take Rutgers, and then I changed my mind at the last second. I got to go with my gut more. My gut's always right.
And Rutgers did beat Penn State. We all took Marquette over Providence, and Marquette fell to the Friars at home.
Oh, come on.
We all took,
You didn't take Providence? That's a joke.
no. We all took Florida over South Carolina, and Florida did win. Now let's move into the picks. Baylor at Texas Tech.
I'm going to go with Baylor.
No, there is. Listen, I don't care if Baylor's up 5 right now. I'm taking Texas Tech.
I got to go with Baylor in this game. They're a much better team. Baylor has a tough schedule this week.
No, Texas Tech has the better coach, and they have the better team. I love Scott Drew. He's a great coach, but Texas Tech's going to pound him.
Listen, Baylor has to go to Kansas, and I don't think they're going to win that game later this week.
You think they're going to win that game?
This week. So therefore, I'm taking Baylor.
Did you say Baylor's going to beat Kansas?
No, I said I don't think they're
Oh, okay. I was going to say Baylor hasn't beaten Kansas in like 20 years. That's actually true.
Okay. Villanova at Creighton.
You know what? I hate Creighton, so I'm going to go with Villanova.
God, who the hell gives a crap? The Big East is so stupid. There's no such thing as a Creighton basketball fan, and the only Villanova fans are our bandwagoners.
Oh, that's not true. I know. Actually, I happen to know somebody who's a Creighton basketball fan.
Well, that's because his son's the manager. It has nothing to do with him. You kidding me?
Listen, okay, are you taking Villanova?
Sure. I'll take Villanova. I think Creighton can score. I don't think they can defend anything. Put a freaking preschool team out there, they put up 55.
Well, really, is that so?
Yeah.
Because with 6 minutes to go in the first half, Creighton leads Villanova 22-10.
Okay, I'm taking Villanova.
Okay. I'm taking Creighton. Creighton's a tough place to play. Really tough place to win. And as the Big East is very similar to the Big Ten, man. It's really tough to win on the road. And Villanova's a really good team, but I don't think they're going to win this game.
I'm sure it's really tough to win in the middle of Nebraska. Really,
it is.
Hostile.
You can see all the fans of the game. 24-10 now. Look at all these fans. Okay, next game.
Yeah, Villanova's not a tournament. I don't think they're a tournament team.
Okay. Kentucky at Georgia.
I kind of do like Georgia, but I don't trust them. Kentucky.
Yeah, give me Big Blue and Kentucky.
Yeah, I'll take Kentucky. Georgia sucks.
Although
Iowa at Nebraska.
Iowa. Not even close.
Yeah, give me the upset, Nebraska.
I put this game on here just so you pick Nebraska. I'm taking Iowa. They're a much better team.
Yeah,
Nebraska
well,
sucks.
I'm taking Nebraska because Nebraska's going to win the basketball game.
No. Okay, St. John's at Georgetown.
Who cares? Go with Georgetown. I don't really like St. John's.
Yeah, Georgetown, who cares? Who the hell cares about this game?
Yeah, I'm going to go with St. John's in this one. Georgetown, I don't think they're going to win a lot of conference games. This is one. They're playing a really good team at home. I think St. John's pulls it out.
Chris, I'm going to do the picks next week and put like 6 American games on here.
No, actually, I have control of the slideshow. So.
Yeah, well, I'll make my own.
Okay, Pittsburgh at North Carolina.
UNC is an absolute mess right now. But they don't really lose at home, so I'll still take UNC.
Except for they just did, yeah.
Well, that was a fluke.
I think Roy Williams will have his team ready, and I think Pittsburgh is atrocious. I'm taking North Carolina.
That's unfortunate. I put this on here so you guys would pick Pittsburgh. I'm taking North Carolina as well. Florida State at Wake Forest.
Wake Forest.
What the hell?
What?
Why are we picking this game?
Wake Forest beat Xavier at home earlier this year.
Okay.
They're a good team.
Yeah, I'll go Florida State. I love Leonard Hamilton.
Yeah, Florida State. Danny Manning, he should be fired. He sucks.
Nope. I would take Florida State in a very close one. Wake is a really tough place to play.
Right. It'll be more Florida State fans there.
Kansas at Iowa State.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the upset here. I don't really like Kansas. I'm going to go Iowa State.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is a stupid pick. Iowa State just lost to Florida A&M. I'm taking Kansas.
Yeah, I like
an
Kansas.
upset for a reason. Let's relax.
Yeah, I'm taking Kansas.
Well, you know what's definitely Iowa State's just gonna boat race them. Watch.
That'd be great. Okay, next game. Seton Hall at Xavier.
Who cares?
Ew.
Can I... I'd go with a no pick here, but I guess I have to take somebody. What was it? Seton Hall? Where's the game?
Xavier.
Then, is Powell playing?
Yes.
Okay, then I'll still go with Xavier.
Remember last year I refused to pick the Big East games? I'm so close to refusing to because this is getting out of hand. I mean, come on.
Mike, we put close games on here. That's what I put on here. Whether you like it or not.
This is a close game?
Yes?
Seton Hall's going to win by 25. Give me Seton Hall.
That's ridiculous.
Xavier can't shoot. Xavier's like 300th in the country in three-point shooting.
You like them.
What?
I thought you liked Xavier.
Not anymore.
Oh.
I realize they're in the Big East now. I don't like them anymore.
Okay. This is going to be a very good game. Xavier's a tough place to play. I think Seton Hall wins. He's the best player in the court.
Who? Kumaji?
No, Miles Kale.
That's really not how it works, though.
Who's the big guy? What's his name? The guy from Africa. Okay, didn't mean it that way, but what's his name?
Is it Gill?
Gill! Romeo Gill. He's
All right,
nasty.
next game, Illinois at Wisconsin.
I like Wisconsin. They seem to play well at home. I'll go with them.
Oh man, this is the definition of a pick'em. I would expect the spread to be very close. Maybe favor Wisconsin a little bit, but Illinois, I can't get over how impressive that win was against Purdue. And I know they've struggled on the road, but they almost beat Maryland. I'm taking the Illini.
Yeah, that's an absurd pick. You can't pick against the home team in the Big Ten unless it's a
Well,
real
I just did.
matchup. So I'm gonna take Wisconsin. Okay, Arkansas at LSU.
Well, why are we picking these random ass horrible games? Did you make the picks?
Arkansas is a big time team.
Yeah, okay.
You know who the coach is, Alex?
Who's that?
Eric Musselman.
That's true. Oh, that is true. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, screw it. Give me Arkansas.
Yeah, I'm taking LSU because Michigan State beat them in the tournament last year.
Fair enough. I'm going to go with Arkansas. I think they're a better team. I think they're a very good team. I'll take
Best coach in the country.
What you should have said is I'm taking Arkansas because it has the word Kansas in it.
Oh, that would have been good. Okay, up next game. Oklahoma at Texas.
Give me Lon Kruger. Give me Oklahoma.
The legend of the great Shaka Smart will continue. Give me Texas 77-55. My man, Shaka Smart, the greatest coach in Texas basketball history. I'm taking Texas. Hook 'em.
I will also take Texas, despite Shaka Smart.
Listen, if there's a Coach of the Year vote, he get my vote so far.
Okay. Next game, Purdue at Michigan.
Michigan.
Michigan gets a cupcake after a tough game on the road. Very easy opponent, Purdue. Right now, they're playing like the 12th best team in the Big Ten. I would expect Michigan to come out and establish the post play, really get it going around the perimeter. Purdue can't score to save their lives. I think Purdue's going to be like Penn State last year, lose a lot early, find a little bit of offense, and win a lot late. But it's early, so I'm taking Michigan.
Okay. I'm also going to take Michigan because Purdue is not very good. Okay, next game. Memphis at Wichita State.
As I said, Wichita State is back. Give me the Shockers.
Yeah, Memphis players, they're not motivated because they're already getting paid. So they're really not being motivated for this game. Also, they are not respectful to the game of basketball. That guy that puts his shorts near his freaking waist, he's a joke to college basketball. And I'm taking Wichita State, Greg Marshall. They're back.
Who'd you take, Alex?
I took Wichita.
Okay. I'm going to take.
Even though I do like Memphis.
I'm going to take Wichita State as well because they're at home. Arizona at Oregon.
Oregon, they have Peyton Pritchard as one of the best guards in the country. They get up to number 4, and then they lose to Colorado. And I think Arizona gets a signature win here. I'm going to pick Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't trust Arizona. No way. They're okay, I guess. They got Nico Mannion. I think he's okay. I don't think he's great. I think Peyton Pritchard's a lot better. I think Peyton Pritchard will lock down Nico Mannion all night long. I'm taking Oregon in a blowout.
I also like Oregon in a blowout. I don't think Arizona's very good. I'm going to take Oregon. Minnesota at Michigan State. Another home game for the Spartans.
To piss Mike off, I might have to go with good old Coach Pitino here, but I just don't think they just don't have the talent as they have Michigan State. And if they shoot 100% again, there's no way that they're going to lose this.
I think this game proves that Tom Izzo paid off the Big Ten scheduling wise because it couldn't be any more perfect. You got Michigan, and in the next game you got a Richard Pitino coach team coming into town. The easiest team you could prepare for is coming into town to take on Michigan State. They don't need to watch any tape. You can freaking get out your B team and beat Minnesota. But I think it'll be a little bit of a letdown. I think we'll get down early. I think we'll definitely, in the second half, we'll pull away a little bit. Cassius will put the team on his back, and Michigan State will win pretty comfortably by 15 to 17 points at the end, but it'll be close in the first half.
Mike.
Excuse me.
Nebraska is up by 7 in Iowa at halftime.
Yep, well, I told you I'm always right.
No, they're not going to win. I'm taking Michigan State in a close one. Minnesota's a good team. Washington at Stanford.
Oh, God.
Listen, this is an equal. There's no bias on this podcast. We pick good games from all conferences.
Yeah,
Power
5. Well, Stanford is way better or way worse than their record says, so I'll go with Washington.
Yeah, everybody says how good Stanford is and how they're a tournament team, which might be true, but I haven't watched them, which means they're not good. Yeah, if I watch you, you're good. If I don't watch you, you suck. And they're not that good. I'm taking Washington. I've seen them play a little bit. That 2-3 zone's tough with Isaiah Stewart in the middle, who actually committed to Washington over Michigan State. But we can talk about that later on. But he's been having a monster year. They got Jaden McDaniels. They got Quade Green, the Kentucky transfer. I'm taking Washington.
I'm going to take Washington as well. I can't trust Stanford, so I'll take Washington.
Yeah, I mean, Stanford. Their players are dumb. They don't know that they have no basketball IQ.
Yeah. BYU at St. Mary's.
I'll go with St. Mary's.
Yeah, playing at St. Mary's is one of the toughest home court advantages in college basketball, and that's a fact. And I'm taking St. Mary's. If it was at BYU, I'd still be taking St. Mary's because I think St. Mary's is the better team. The thing that's going to hurt St. Mary's in the long run is that Quadrant 4 loss to Winthrop. That's definitely going to hurt them come tournament time.
Oh, yeah. St. Mary's, yeah. They also just lost Pacific, so.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. That might be their quadrant 4 loss. I don't know. They have one quadrant 4 loss, I know. But I'm going to take them. They did beat Arizona by 1 million. Or maybe it was Arizona State. It was somebody they beat by 1 million.
I'll take St. Mary's because they're at home, but they're not very good. Maryland at Iowa.
Crappy Maryland. That's all I have to say. So I'll go with Iowa.
Ooh, this is a tough one. I mean, Iowa's going to be at home. They're going to come off a tough loss to Nebraska. And, man, this is a tough one. I mean, I like Maryland. I think they're the second best team. Playing at Iowa, that's tough. I think Iowa's got a joke of a schedule to start out conference play. They could easily get to, if they win this game against Nebraska, they could get out to a pretty good run. Maryland, I don't trust. I just can't. I can't trust Mark Turgeon on the road. I'm sorry. I gotta take Iowa.
Yeah, I'm going to take Iowa in an absolute blowout. It's not even going to be close. Maryland can't win on the road. Iowa.
If Maryland wins this game, I will be all over them the rest of the year.
Butler at Providence.
Oh God.
Who cares? Bring it Butler.
Yeah, I'm sure the 5 fans that will be watching this game will be impressed.
Oh, no. You cannot say anything about Providence basketball fans. Have you ever been in the dunk for a Providence game? They pack the house.
Who? The nuns that are there? Who go to the games?
Everybody goes to the games.
Who?
I don't know. Providence fans. They're New England's team.
Oh, please.
What?
That's a okay. Let's calm down. Rhode Island's got a way bigger fan base.
Yeah.
No?
I think BU basketball is bigger.
Okay. All right.
BC basketball's bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we all know.
Give me Merrimack basketball.
Okay, so if there is a Providence fan, there's definitely no such thing as a Butler fan because everybody in Indiana is either an Indiana or Purdue fan, and then you got the small Notre Dame minority, so nobody actually gives a crap about Butler basketball. But I'm gonna take Butler.
And this is the toughest game I'm here to pick for me all week. Providence is playing really, really good basketball right now. But I really like Butler. They're number 6 team in the country. I don't know. I think it's going to be a little bit of a letdown. Give me the Friars.
Okay,
Okay,
you
next
just
game.
regressed again. Okay.
Ohio State at Indiana.
I don't think Indiana's good, so I'll take Ohio State.
Yeah, if you gave me this game on paper and tell me, you got Ohio State, Indiana, there's no way I would take an Archie Miller coach team over a Chris Holtman coach team any day. No way. But the difference is the crowd, and Ohio State's not playing well. I think Ohio State is going to come out and they are going to lose, and they will be 1-4 in conference play. I'm taking Indiana.
I'm going to take Ohio State. I really don't like Indiana at all, and I can't trust them in a big game. So I'll take Ohio State.
I will say, if Indiana loses this game, I will not pick them to win a single game the rest of the year. They suck.
Okay, next game. Rutgers at Illinois.
Well, you know what? I really want to pick Rutgers. I really do, but I can't. It's like Mike. I can't bring Mike with Maryland. I cannot bring myself to pick Rutgers, so I'll pick Illinois.
I mean, I love Rutgers. I do. I love Rutgers. I love Coach Steve Peichel. I think he's a top 5 X's and O's coach in the Big Ten easily. Brad Underwood's up there too. Brad Underwood's a very good coach, and I think he did a great job rebounding.
Chris Collins is up there.
X's and O's. Chris Collins is probably up there, to be honest. It's just they don't get any talent, so can't really say much about Northwestern.
Mark Turgeon is definitely up there.
Yeah, well, the problem is college basketball is 70% talent and 20% coaching and 10% luck. So you could be a great X's and O's coach and have no talent and you still suck. Doesn't matter. So, anyways, I like the Illini. I like the way they've been playing. Rutgers, I picked against them against Penn State, but I got to go with Illinois here. I think the home crowd is too much for Rutgers. They'll definitely be packing the place. It's a big rivalry. These two are perennially the two worst teams, both football and basketball. So they really draw big crowds when they play each other. I'm going to take Illinois, and it's going to be very close. These are two teams that lost to Michigan State, so I could go with either team, and my conscience wouldn't worry about it. So I'm taking Illinois.
I'm going to take Illinois because they're at home. I think it's going to be a blowout as well.
How about
really
that?
Tough to win there.
How about that Rutgers win for Michigan State? That's looking good.
Okay, DePaul at St. John's.
Oh my God.
Who cares? I hate DePaul. So I'm going to pick St. John's. And I don't want to pick either because both teams suck.
That's ridiculous.
St. John's is second to last in the crappy Big East.
That's because they've had a tough schedule.
Playing in conference in the Big East is not a tough schedule.
Okay,
really?
yeah, Michigan State would win every game in that conference.
No,
They would roll.
Indiana.
They would roll through the Big East. Roll right through it. Are you kidding me?
No.
They would roll every team except maybe they might lose to Villanova because Villanova's got a great coach, and Seton Hall will give them problems because Seton Hall's athleticism. But every other team, they would beat soundly. Soundly.
No, I would pick Providence to beat them up dunk.
All right. Okay. It's funny to me how DePaul, what did they start, like 10-0 or whatever? They had a bunch of okay but not great wins. Beat Boston College. That Texas Tech win looks pretty good right now. But
Beat Iowa.
they did beat Iowa on the road. But DePaul, the one thing, it's just funny how in a couple of games they're back on the bubble. Just after losing two games. And if they lose this game, they're going to be 0-3 in the conference play, and they're not going to be looking too good for a tournament bid. They got to win this game. This is a must-win for them. With that being said, I'm taking St. John's.
Yeah, I like St. John's only because they're at home. If this game was in Chicago, I'd take DePaul.
No, I thought you were all over DePaul.
Alex, I told you I love all Big East teams.
No, you had a special spot for DePaul.
I like DePaul, but when they play at home, they're a different team than when they play on the road.
Yeah, that's why they've lost 2 games at home, DePaul. Pretty sure.
Well, they lost to Providence, so no shame in that loss.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember who else they lost to. Somebody else.
Villanova,
maybe
right?
3. Or maybe it was Villanova. I don't know. Okay.
Embarrassing.
Next game. Baylor at Kansas.
Oh, game of the week.
What was this, Baylor, Kansas, you said?
Yeah.
I don't like Kansas. I'm going to go Baylor.
Yeah, I'm taking Kansas. Baylor, they're kind of a fraud, not going to lie. And I love Baylor. I love their coach, but they're being overhyped to a point of it's getting infuriating. I think they're a solid 6 to 7, maybe 8 seed in the tournament. No way in hell are they the number 6 team in the country. That is
You're
absurd.
Right. They're number 4 right now, actually.
Are they number 4? That's
Yeah,
even
they
more.
should be number 1.
That's even more absurd. Kansas.
They should be number 1.
I'm taking Kansas by 20. Kansas has more talent everywhere. Way better talent than Baylor.
I'm going to take Kansas solely because they're at home. Okay, next game. Louisville at Notre Dame.
Louisville, even though they're overrated.
Oh, God. Seriously? You think I'm going to take Notre Dame? That's why you put this game on here, right?
Correct.
Well, I'm not. I'm taking Louisville. Louisville wins all. Louisville destroys all the crappy teams and loses to all the good teams. So.
Well, I'm also going to take Louisville because Michigan played them.
Not because Notre Dame sucks.
Next
God,
game,
you would think this is the Big East freaking podcast.
Listen, this is a big game. It's on Fox.
Can you
It's
put?
a big game.
When's the last time we had a Big Ten game on here?
Rutgers, Illinois, I think.
That was like 4 days ago.
4 days ago, yeah.
Yeah, that was on
Don't
like.
worry, there are more. There are more Big Ten games coming. Relax.
Give me a break. This is a joke. Chris has to put every Big East game on here, like 5 Big Ten games.
Mike, I'm sorry I don't want to pick Northwestern at, Ohio State.
I do.
Northwestern at Maryland. We pick close games on this podcast.
We are a Big Ten podcast. We do not care about the Big East. In fact, the Big East is our one rival. That's the only freaking geographic rival the Big Ten has. Are you kidding me?
No, we pick good games. That's what we do. Okay, Creighton at Xavier.
God damn.
Mike, you wanna boycott this pick?
Go ahead. Do a no pick. Go ahead.
Fine. I'm gonna boycott it if both you and Luke boycott it. I will boycott every Big East game for the rest of the freaking year.
Alright, boycott.
Okay.
That's great. That's gonna give you a free win in the basketball.
You'll probably still get it wrong.
Well, I'm going to take. When you get a no pick, it's an automatic loss. So.
Actually.
I'm not putting in a contest, so therefore I cannot lose a game.
So before we reveal every pick,
I'm picking nobody. It's not that I'm not picking. I'm picking nobody to win the game.
I'm taking the refs.
No, Mike, don't. You already submitted your no pick. I can't take it back.
I said the refs. I'm taking the refs.
No, you can't take it back. I'm going to take Xavier because they're at home, even though I think Creighton is better.
Before we give every pick to the audience, there's going to be an asterisk that says Mike, Luke, and Alex boycott every Big East game.
Well, I'll be talking about the Big East for a while.
Chris, I will pick good Big East games. This is not a good Big East game. Get this crap out of here.
Top 25 games.
They're not ranked.
Right around the top 25.
They're not ranked. Creighton isn't even in Andy Katz's top 36. You kidding me?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. You know that's ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous.
Yes, it is.
Listen,
here's Marquette at 16.
I will pick.
Creighton blew out Marquette at Marquette.
I will pick a Big East game if it's a good game. This is not a good game.
This is a good game.
This is a boring game nobody will be watching besides freaking Coach McHugh. Give me a break.
We have another game after this, which is another great game. Marquette at Seton Hall.
This is one of those games that freaking Fox will wish they got rid of freaking Big East basketball.
Next game, Marquette at Seton Hall.
This is a good game. I will pick this game.
Yeah, who gives a damn?
You have another no pick, Alex? Is that what I heard?
No, you know what? I'm going to Seton Hall because I don't really care.
The only reason why I'm picking this game is because we have the so-called rivals between Howard and Powell. I'm taking Seton Hall.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Powell and Howard go at it. I'm excited to watch this game. I'm going to take Seton Hall because they're at home. I might take Marquette if it was at Marquette.
See, I love
how hard it is.
I love how Fox gets freaking Xavier and Creighton, and CBS Sports Network gets Marquette and Seton Hall.
Well, Creighton, if you look at it, the best team, if you look at it, Creighton and Xavier are probably, if you seeded those 4 teams, Creighton and Xavier are probably 2 and 3. I would put Marquette 4 out of those teams. I don't think they're very good.
No.
They got the closer game, Creighton and Xavier. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a fantastic contest.
But nobody's going to watch because there's no sex appeal. Nobody cares. Who cares about Coach McDermott? There's no good. Marcus Zagorowski do something for you? Are you kidding me?
It's Coach McBucket to you.
Okay.
I'll be watching this game, by the way. Okay, next game, Texas Tech at West Virginia.
I will watch Ohio State wrestling over a Big East game.
Next game, Texas Tech at West Virginia.
Give me Press Virginia. I'll go with West Virginia.
Ooh, this is a tough game. West Virginia, great defensively, not a great offensive team. Is this game on TV?
I couldn't find it.
Oh, well, that's not a great sign.
It wasn't listed on the ESPN app yesterday, so I don't know.
Okay, interesting. I'm also going to take Press Virginia. I don't even know if they press anymore. I didn't even see them press once against Oklahoma State, so we'll see.
You watched it? Wasn't that on the ESPN Plus?
No, that was on ESPN 2 the other night.
Oh, okay. I'm taking, you know what, this is a typical game Chris Beard wins, just out of nowhere, just pulls this game after losing to Baylor. So I'm going to take Texas.
What's the score of that game?
25-20 Baylor in the second half. Typical Big 12. Typical
God.
Texas Tech game.
It is typical Big 12. There's no offense in the Big 12.
The opposite of football.
It's literally the opposite of football.
Okay, next game. Michigan at Minnesota.
Michigan.
Ooh. You see, if this was a night game, it's at the barn, tough place to play, Coach Pitino, I would take Minnesota. It is not. I will take Michigan. I think it will be very, very close. Very close. But if it is close, Michigan will find a way to choke it. But either way, I'm still taking Michigan.
Yeah, I'm going to take Michigan as well. I think it's going to be a very close game. And I might take Minnesota if all the fans, if they would have any fans show up. But I know they're not going to have any fans show up because other fans are going to be very upset because I believe this is a Sunday, right? This is
yes.
The other fans are going to be very upset about the day before when their football team gets destroyed by the 49ers. So they will have no fans at the game.
Actually, I'm sure they'll all be at church.
Okay. Next game, Michigan State at Purdue.
You know what? I'm going to do it. Matt Painter turns it around. Give me the Boilermakers.
Yeah, if you remember last year, this was the springboard game for Purdue, and they went on a 10-game winning streak after they were struggling a little bit. Then they found themselves, got a big win over Iowa, and then Michigan State came into town. They got up big. Cassius Winston almost brought us back. And then Ryan Klein hit a big shot in the final minute, which sealed the Purdue win. And it's a place where Tom Izzo never wins. It's a place where nobody really wins in the Big Ten. But I know a coach that does win there, Shaka Smart. That's a coach that wins there. But listen, it's a very good atmosphere. They'll be ready to go. I have concerns though. I think Purdue, they just can't score. You got Nogel Eastern out there. You got a couple guys out there who just can't score. Matt Harms, you can't expect Matt Harms to score. And you can't expect Nogel Eastern to score. You've got to hope guys like Sasha Stefanovic score the basketball. And Jihad Proctor, who's a high point transfer, he's no he's no Power 6 level player. I mean, he's good, but he's not great. I think Michigan State will win a close one. Now, Purdue could have a Virginia performance where they just put it all together. And that's what it would have to take to beat Michigan State. But I'm going to take Michigan State.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't like Purdue. My gut is telling me they're going to win this game. I'm going to find a way to win this game. I'll take Purdue. For no reason at all, just because I want to take Purdue.
Good, so I get my no pick back now.
Arizona at Oregon State.
I'll go with Arizona again.
See, this is the beauty of the Pac-12 scheduling. I actually think it's brilliant the way they schedule. They have you're with your other state schools, so Oregon and Oregon State are together, and like USC and UCLA are together, Arizona State, and they both go on road trips to the same places each weekend. And on a Thursday they'll play one, and then switch on Sunday or Saturday. So this will really work out in Oregon State's favor this year. Oregon is going to have a lot of teams going to Oregon, ready to go, and to have a letdown at Oregon State, and I believe Arizona will have the same thing. I think Oregon State's a good, solid team. I don't think they're great. I don't even think they're a tournament team, but they're a good, solid team, and I think they will beat Arizona.
I'm going to take Arizona to bounce back after a tough loss to Oregon. Okay, anything else to add?
No. Wait. What is that?
What are you talking about?
Why is there another pick on here?
There isn't. That's it.
It says national championship. What is this?
I took that off.
Well,
I started the slideshow before. I thought we were going to pick that game, but it looks like we're going to have another podcast next week. Unless you want to pick it right now.
No.
Okay. Well, anything else to add then?
No. Yes, Michigan sucks, and they deserve. Juwan Howard deserves to be fired. If I was Ward Manuel, I would have came down after the game and fired his ass in front of the Breslin crowd, get him going. I'd freaking hype him up. I'd swing my arms up in the air. Then I'd say you're fired, and yeah, that would be amazing.
Okay. That's going to do it for this week's edition of the Big Four Podcast. We'll be back sometime. Thank you for watching, and I think this one was PG enough, I would think, to put on YouTube, so you can follow us on Twitter. This might be the second one since the two-month existence of our Twitter account, where we've had a PG.
Well, that's because Luke wasn't on.
Yeah, that's true. That's what Luke wasn't on. So follow us on Twitter, and tune in next week. Thank you for watching.